The email that came out wanting us to justify our jobs with 5 things we did last week was on Saturday night. And I was literally working on Saturday night to make up for all the distractions I had had the previous week, which came from the executive branch. And so I'm working, trying to catch up on things, and then I get that email on top of it. It's very hard to keep your train of thought when you're getting threatened and harassed like that.
The CIA has warned that having Doge investigate them could lead to our nation's secrets being sold. Attorney General Pam Bondi gets embarrassed as the Epstein files turn out to be a dud. And The View's Joy Behar has to backpedal her own words as she admits to lying about Elon Musk. Now, guys, I really appreciate you guys hitting the like button. If you guys appreciate these daily news updates, definitely subscribe to the channel. We have a lot to talk about in today's video, so let's go and get this party started with Doge and how much backlash Doge has gotten. Watch.
Can you tell us what your message is to these senators while we're walking?
I think it's really cruel to fire people for poor performance when they've only had great feedback. We've never had an issue with our performance, and we're doing work for the American public. We're here for safety. And we're patriots. We love our country. That's why we're taking these jobs that don't pay us in the private sector. I'm an accountant. I could get a private sector job tomorrow.
Now, there's a lot of these stories that are going around. Sob stories that say that Doge is cruel for letting people go because of poor performance. But this isn't necessarily new within a normal company. And yes, the federal government isn't a company, nor is it a business. But we do expect excellence from the people who work there, right? That's because they're employed with our taxpayer dollars. And this is the simple concept that many people don't seem to understand. These networks, they flock to these stories, and yet they forget about what Doge is finding. I think Senator John Kennedy made a very good point when he talked about it on Newsmax. Watch.
Well, do you ever notice when the critics of what we're finding complain, they never talk about what we're finding. They don't want to talk about the spending porn. They want to talk about the process, and they don't like Elon Musk because he wears, I don't know, he wears Crocs to a wedding. They don't like the way he dresses. They don't like the way it's being done. But they never criticize what he's finding because they can't. It's spending porn.
But instead of backing down since workers are so offended about this email, Elon Musk and Doge have doubled down. Now they're asking for federal workers to provide productivity summaries every week. I mean, look at it this way. If this was a publicly traded company that made money through sales, sending a weekly email wouldn't sound that crazy, right? But even as it's being done in the public sector, this shouldn't be hard to email what you're doing every single week. Many believe that the fear is coming from a place of inefficiency, meaning that they don't want to send what they're doing every week because they ain't doing nothing every week. These workers detest these emails because they know that their output is so low, which equates to awful public service that you and I should be receiving. Now, I'm going to share a part of Elon Musk's email here, okay? It reads, quote, "Please reply to the email with approximately 5 bullets describing what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Going forward, please complete the above task each week by Mondays at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time." End quote. Now, if you can't list out 5 things that you accomplished an entire week, then it might be time for a change. This is the second and final chance according to Elon Musk. Failure to respond this time around could end with a worker's termination. Now, I want to talk about the CIA because it looks like they're threatening Doge. Some within the intelligence agency have said that it's possible that national security secrets are sold. Now, that is, of course, if Doge ever investigates the CIA.
But Intel doesn't like being told what to do. When they saw Musk with the chainsaw doging foreign aid, they started leaking to CNN. If you doge us, there will be consequences. On the CIA's 7th floor, home to top leadership, some officers are also quietly discussing how mass firings and the buyouts already offered to staff risk creating a group of disgruntled former employees who might be motivated to take what they know to a foreign intelligence service. The CIA is telling CNN that if their funding gets cut, they're going to sell state secrets to Russia. Who the hell hired these Benedict Arnolds? The CIA is supposed to be filled with patriots, not sellouts. And the FBI is up to no good, too. Michael Schellenberger is reporting a source inside the FBI says the Bureau is destroying evidence. Now we know what their accomplishments were last week. Dear Elon, I wiped the servers cleaner than crooked.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below. Now we got to ask, did the FBI wipe the Epstein files as well? Because Attorney General Pam Bondi got embarrassed with the first phase of this list. After building it up through news outlets, many people were disappointed, to say the least, that we didn't see anything new. And if you ask Pam Bondi, she would say the same thing. Watch.
The Attorney General says she's disappointed because she wanted all of the files to be released yesterday, but she says that the FBI field office in New York was hanging on to files from the Epstein case. She wants those files delivered to DOJ. She wrote the FBI Director Patel, "I'm directing you to conduct an immediate investigation into why my order to the FBI was not followed. You will deliver to me a comprehensive report of your findings and propose personnel action within 14 days. She wanted them delivered here at the DOJ by 8 a.m. this morning. We asked if they arrived. No word yet. Mr. Patel said in a statement, Director Patel said in a statement, there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, and no stone left unturned. And anyone from the prior or current Bureau who undermines this will be swiftly pursued. If there are gaps, we will find them. If records have been hidden, we will uncover them."
Now, I'm not going to sugarcoat this, guys. The entire debacle is hurting the Trump administration's credibility because our expectations, they were held up pretty high. Now, Senator Marsha Blackburn was on Fox recently as she tried to defend Pam Bondi and Kash Patel for this huge blunder.
Because you've been talking with AG Pam Bondi a bunch this week, and this is such an important topic to you.
Yes.
In terms of transparency, are these Epstein files. I got to ask you about this because they were released yesterday. Yes. The White House made a big deal out of it. They had these binders with information from the DOJ. They handed it over to all of these social media influencers who went online and shared the information, but then it really turned out to kind of be what some are calling a nothing burger. And some Republicans, like Representative Luna in the House, said that this is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment. So, Senator, what happened here?
AG Bondi and Director Patel are hard at work on getting all of these Epstein files. And as you know, this is an issue I first talked about in 2019. We have been on this because it is imperative that we break apart these human trafficking rings, sex trafficking rings. And we know Jeffrey Epstein was a part of this. And Aisha, this is not about sensationalism or celebrities. It is not about gossip and gotchas. This is about justice for 254 victims we know of so far, and for thousands of women and girls around the globe that have been pushed into sex trafficking, women and children pushed into human trafficking. That is now 150. You know, what we saw yesterday is information on that will lead us to the file that was used in the court document. This is information from the FBI search. We need that. We now know to go look for that and ask for those specifics of computers. And we also know there are IRS records we need. There's video footage we need. So they're trying to find where this is housed in the FBI and get it over to AG Bondi.
And we know you'll keep fighting for it.
It's going to be a process.
I hope that process doesn't take too long, since we've all been waiting for years for this. Now, speaking of which, Joy Behar of The View just got humbled, and this has been a long time coming for her. Joy Behar had to apologize on air for lying about Elon Musk and his beliefs. Now, what's really annoying, though, is that she doesn't really apologize. Is anybody surprised by her arrogance? She instead tries to justify herself.
Now I'm getting some flack because I said that Musk was pro-apartheid. I don't really know for sure if he was. He grew up at that time when apartheid was in full bloom, before the great Nelson Mandela fixed that. He was around at that time, but maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. He might have been a young guy, too.
Might have been.
So don't be suing me, okay, Elon? They're allowed to say any lie they want, but we have to be really strict. That's why this show's important.
You know who else had an important show, or at least she believes she did? Joy Reid. And now her show is gone. And The View could follow suit if they keep these lies up. We all know this is not the first time that they've had to go back on their own words. Sunny Hostin last year had to backtrack on her words against Pete Hegseth, which just kind of goes to show that they're not above lying to the American people, especially if they think that it can hurt the image of the people that they hate. I also have to note that Joy Behar admits to not knowing if her own statement was true, which is kind of crazy nowadays because I'm pretty sure that social media exists, right? Now, here's my question, guys. Should Elon Musk sue Joy Behar? Let me know in the comments. I want to see. Now, switching gears for a second, I want to link you guys to a previous video that I did. I talked about the argument at the White House between President Donald Trump and Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky. Things obviously did not go as planned. Make sure you guys check that out because this is really rare to see in any government. As always, appreciate you guys hitting the like button and for subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time.